The Game Time app. Man, I love the Game Time app. I have used this time and time again. So once again, I'm always trying to give my friends and introduce them to my friends over at Game Time. Look, it's November. The NBA Emirates Cup is starting. We have the UFC in the year calendar, getting late in the football season. It is the best time of the year for sports, but so much more. So why not go and do some of that stuff and use the Game Time app to do that? All you got to do, use my promo code DCTV to get $20 off your first purchase. I don't care if you're watching basketball, football, UFC, concerts, comedy shows. It doesn't matter. It covers everything at the Game Time app. So once again, punch in that promo code DCTV when you're signing up, and we will give you $20 off of your first purchase. Game Time has been rocking with us for a while, guys, so we need to support them. And it works. I love the Game Time app. DCTV to save $20 off of your first purchase at Game Time. Let's go. Another episode of Funky and the Champ. I'm fat. Jamal's like skinny fat. Right? You're skinny fat.
Take it back.
Today I chose violence.
I'm suing. Sue them. I had the mute on for the fight. Sorry, Daniel. I did mute you.
You guys are gonna be lifetime enemies because of the shit you say the moment you get a microphone in your face. Bro, you're crazy. What's up, guys? Welcome to a brand new episode of Funky and the Champ. I'm Daniel Cormier. That's Funky Ben Askren. It's UFC 309 week. Finally, Ben. The biggest and the baddest will be determined this weekend at Stipe Miocic.
Or will it be? Fight. Or will it be? Because I got some questions. Tom Aspinall.
That's something we got to get into a little bit later in the show. But first, Ben, you just left yoga, huh? How was it?
I did. I go with my wife usually once a week in the mornings. It was great.
Is it hot
I actually
yoga
feel
or
much better.
Yoga?
Hot. You got to do hot yoga. Got to sweat. Can't do regular.
I know. So one time, I swear, bro, I fought somebody, won a world title, go to hot yoga on a Monday.
Okay.
Bro, I'm in there with all these women.
Yeah.
I was going so hard because I was in shape. I just fought a 25-minute fight. It was so hot and it was so hard. I like faked an injury, bro, to get out of that hot room.
Stop. No, you didn't. That's so embarrassing. That is so embarrassing.
Man, the UFC champion, and they all knew who I was, fakes an injury to get out of hot yoga.
So what injury could you possibly fake? What, hamstring pull?
I was like, geez, I think I did something to my knee. And I was like, I just need to get out of that room, bro. It was so hot. How hot is it in there for you guys?
I are not hot enough to be a quitter.
Bro, I quit, dude.
What would John Smith say?
He would have been so pissed at me. I was so, honestly, by the time my body temperature came down, I was disappointed. It's like, when you have that embarrassment, like after you do something and then you're embarrassed after. Yes. I had that embarrassment sitting outside that hot yoga room, dude. It was bad.
Oh my God.
Anyhow, shut up, dude. It's not funny. So Jon Jones and Stipe Miocic are fighting this weekend.
Yeah.
Bro, this whole subplot has started. We have beat this topic
to death.
But it seems as though it's getting bigger and it's more present than ever.
It's infuriating.
Obviously because of the fight, right?
I don't know. Listen, I think we need to poll the people because I feel like maybe it's just because I'm slightly autistic and I can't let it go that the full truth is not being heard. Like, it's driving me insane that
what do you mean?
Saying, well, John keeps saying, oh, maybe I'll fight Alex Pereira and Tom Aspinall.
Well, that's who he wants to fight next.
I understand, but he's saying, well, that Tom Aspinall doesn't. So he's giving you all these reasons, but the real reason is that's my toughest fight. That's the toughest guy. That guy is undefeated. He's won the heavyweight title. He's defended the heavyweight title, which I also hold. So they made these two essentially parallel heavyweight titles. Listen, I actually really like Stipe, so I hate it every time I have to say this. But he hasn't fought in 4 years.
But he actually looks pretty good. I watched Countdown.
Just because he looks good. Ali looked good at the end.
He seems in good spirit. He seems still fast. I was watching this sport.
No, this is where the people love it when I hold you in check because you're sometimes a company man, Daniel.
No, but listen,
just because someone looks good doesn't mean they can fight good.
I'll tell you the truth.
4 years.
I also have some inside information from one.
What?
Hey, look, I have some
We don't
inside.
know. We just don't know. He hasn't fought in 4 years.
Listen. I have some inside
Okay,
information
go.
from
Breaking
one
news.
Mike DeSabato. And it said,
Ah, no, you
listen,
can't trust none
listen,
of that. Stop.
listen.
You said
I
Mike
have some inside
DeSalvador, it's
information.
over.
I have some inside information from one Mike DeSabato. As a disclaimer, he is from Ohio. I will just say he
As
is
a
from Ohio.
disclaimer,
Hey,
he's borderline insane.
my little brother is telling me Stipe is ready to shock the world. He's plus 8,500 to win by submission. They feel like the stand up is on point. They say that they are ready for the grappling. Dude, I can't help but shake this feeling that as we get closer, Ben, this is much closer than we are giving this fight credit for. It's
Well,
not a company man. It is much closer
okay.
than we are giving this guy credit for.
I love that you're selling this. I can appreciate that,
Stop.
Dan. Well,
You
but
want me to tell you how?
the
You want
last
me to
time
tell you how big
Stipe
it is?
won a fight was August of 2020.
But do you want me to tell you how big it is?
Well, I just don't believe you.
Do you want me to tell you how big it
Sure,
is?
tell me how big it is.
Yesterday, I had to send in my phone number, address, social security number, full name, birthday, because guess who's in the building? The president-elect.
DJT, of course.
The
He comes all
president-elect.
of them.
No, he doesn't. The
A lot.
president-elect is in the building to watch the biggest and the baddest fight. Dude,
Well,
it's a
I
it's a
think he's
better
actually
fight.
coming to watch Bo Nickel, in all fairness.
Do you think so?
Yeah,
Dude,
he loves Bo
it's a
Nickel.
better fight than you're giving it credit for, Ben.
Okay, listen, here's the things. I hope it's a good fight. I
Yeah.
actually like Stipe. You know what is funny is because it's weird. And I felt this when I was on Full Wrestling all the time. Is sometimes because I felt the need to say what I thought the truth was. I felt like people got mad at me and didn't like me when it's like, well, I don't actually dislike you. Like, I think it's actually really cool. Jon Jones is training with Gordon Ryan and Gable Stevenson. Like, that's freaking cool. Like, he's bringing some of the best guys. Stipe, undoubtedly, if we just says resumes of heavyweights, he's top 3 for sure.
Yes.
But again, he just hasn't fought in 4 years. That's a really long time. I don't know what he's going to look like on Saturday. And again, there's this guy, Tom Aspinall, who's undefeated, who has a parallel. So at this point, there's just 2 UFC heavyweight belts because for some reason,
it really is. Like, I don't understand why we aren't just saying it. Tom Aspinall is the heavyweight champion, too. Like,
he is, yes.
It's like he's actually fighting, defending, and we got these 2 guys who are legends and who are great that are like, we're fighting each other and nobody else. Like, so it's like you have 2 heavyweight champs. Hey, is there something to Jon Jones saying he weighs 235? Because I thought in the fight against Cyril Gane, he was too heavy. I thought he looked weird. He was too big. He looked puffy.
Really? You think so?
He said he's 235. He said he used to walk around that when he was fighting at light heavyweight. I thought Jon Jones, the light heavyweight, could just fight at heavyweight and compete without cutting weight.
Yeah, I always thought that too. Well, I mean, it was funny because actually at the same time that Jon Jones and I mean both of you were light heavyweight champions. Stipe at that time was the heavyweight champion, and he was a very small heavyweight. I mean, I want to say a couple times that he weighed in like 227 or something.
No, 230. So like in the mid 230s.
Okay, which I thought he was smaller one time. I'm gonna Google it.
Well, the lowest he was like 230 when we fought.
Okay, so whereas you and John, I'm sure both of you in your non-camp, you win a fight, you go to camp, you eat whatever you want, you probably get heavier than that, which I always thought was hilarious.
Yeah, no, we were both pretty big for the weight class, and I just think that this fight is big. But yes, we have a Tom Aspinall problem. We absolutely have a Tom Aspinall problem. And honestly, do you think John's just smart enough to do what he's doing to rile up people? You control people. You control people and go,
maybe.
Oh, you love this guy so much? I'm not fighting him. But in reality, you might know you might fight him or you might have to fight him. Do you think he's trolling? Because it's hard for me.
Well, what do you make of the fact that he said he's going to retire? Do you think he's actually going to retire?
No, I think he's going to fight. I think he's going to either fight Tom Aspinall or he's going to fight like Alex Pereira. He wants to fight Alex Pereira bad, bro. Like, and why wouldn't you? I mean, it's so hard not to be disrespectful to Alex. Like, it's hard not to disrespect Alex when you respect him so much. But it just still seems like there's that big glaring hole in his game,
Yes.
and nobody can test it. And when guys do wrestle him a little bit, they hold him down, bro. Like we
Yeah.
watch Izzy hold him down, we watch Jan Blachowicz hold him down
Yep.
and win the first round. A guy like
John is
Jones,
way
with his
superior to those
wrestling,
guys.
huh?
John is way superior to both of those guys.
Exactly, bro. In terms of wrestling and ground and pound, like
Yeah.
it would be very difficult fight for Alex. But John said he wants to fight him, and he keeps like he said Tom Aspinall is essentially a nobody, bro. That's why he's not fighting.
Yes, I know. And so again, when the full truth isn't being told, it's frustrating. And for me, I understand that the UFC is entertainment part, but to me, it's also a sport. And
It is a
the whole
sport.
point of the sport is to figure out who the best is. And you know, on top of this, we already had this guy Francis Ngannou who just left, and now he's out here
As the heavyweight champ.
as the heavyweight champ. So he's out there like, well, could he be the best? I think there's actually a
The heavyweight
possibility.
championship is all weird right now in the UFC.
All weird. So yeah, so it's frustrating me because I wonder who the best guy is. I would love to see them all fight.
But it feels like to me, as we've gotten closer, it doesn't seem as outlandish that Stipe and Jones are fighting this weekend for the heavyweight title. Initially, it seemed like these guys are holding the division on hostage. They're not the best. Tom Aspinall is. But as we get closer, I'm like, maybe they are the best. I swear to God, I really feel like that.
So hey, I guess I don't even know the answer to this. Why has Stipe taken almost 4 years off?
He was only fighting for the belt. Dude, he literally stood
it?
on his business. He stood on business and said, I'm not fighting unless it's for the belt. I swear to God.
So if he would have never got a title shot, he would
be done. He would be done.
Really? Okay, that's interesting.
I'm only fighting for the belt. Okay. And he said he was waiting for it. And ultimately, he held out long enough to where he got it. But I think that if Cyril Gane would have beat Jon Jones, Stipe was done. What saved Stipe was Jon Jones saying, I want to fight Stipe Miocic. Because he wouldn't have gotten that title fight, or he would have gotten it before. When Francis left, they would have said, we need to put this guy back into a championship fight.
So can I tell you one more thing that's weird about this? Because I was thinking about, you know, this thing because it is frustrating me. And, you know, I want to make sure I'm being intellectually honest with myself and not trying to be biased or emotional or anything. It's like, you know, so John wants to fight Stipe for legacy. And because I already admitted Stipe has one of the top resumes, but he hasn't fought in forever. So like, take like when Anderson Silva loses to Chris Weidman, right? When he lost the belt. Okay. Now go 4 years from that date.
Yep.
Do you get as much credit for beating Anderson Silva 4 years later? And I think the answer is no.
No. That's a great
right? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I don't think you do. Or for example,
so what you're saying is even if John beats him today, it's not like beating him back in 2017, 18, 20.
Heck no. Another guy would be like Jose Aldo, for example. Remember for a while he was just completely unbeatable, unstoppable.
And it kind of knocked him out.
And then now no one thinks kind of the same way about him. And, you know, I think we could think of some other examples over the course of history that would be just like that. And so that's kind of how I feel about it.
I just think that Jones, like, really he loves his legacy. He wants to protect it at all costs.
Yeah.
And I think that at this point in his career, I don't know that he wants to fight a bigger guy that can wrestle, that has tremendous striking, can do all these things that Tom Aspinall can do right now. So,
but then aren't you leaving a different legacy a little bit, Daniel? Aren't you leaving the legacy that
you know what
there's this guy that I won't fight?
Stop.
Okay.
I don't think that he worries about that. Because imagine this, right? After all that happened in the past with me and other things that have happened, he's never been truly held accountable for those things, especially by fans. Fans still call him the greatest of all time. Fans still say he did this and he did that. So it's like, does it really matter? As long as you keep that zero, no matter what happens.
Well, he lost to Matt Hamill.
Of course, yes. But
no,
but like, as long as you never see him actually get beaten a fight, I don't think it matters what happens outside. Because if it did,
really, you think,
bro? Because if it did, all the things that happened in the build to our fights, the things that happened outside of the octagon, they would be more present in his story. Right now, it seems like those things are all like archaic. They're in the archives. Nobody talks about it anymore. It's like a whole new guy. And sure, he's changed. So in 5 years, if he retires and Tom Aspinall at some point loses, right, to someone, nobody will remember that in 2024, Jon Jones refused to fight him. Jon Jones will still just be the undefeated guy. I'm telling you, that's my thought.
I mean, that's interesting. So, I mean, when I think about Jon Jones, I think about, and this is kind of, I said this about Anderson Silva because, you know, Rogan actually said this. He was talking about this. Oh, you know, he was talking to Trump about it, which was hilarious because, like, Trump was actually just genuinely interested in fighting, but he was talking about when he talks about who the best of all time is. Because I actually think they maybe were talking about Jon Jones. And Joe was saying, because some people fight for so long, it's not fair to count the latter part against them. So
Yes, like Anderson.
like, okay, so what Joe counts is the prime. And so I think if you look at Jon Jones, we'll say 11 through 16. I mean, because his stretch there, actually, I don't know if you remember this. It was, he fought 4 times in 2011 and finished all 4. So he finished Bader, Shogun, Rampage, and Leota. Like just that singular year.
And
right?
those are 2 UFC champions in
Yeah.
Shogun and Rampage.
And at that point, right, Shogun at that point is a total legend. Rampage at that point is a legend, and so was Machida. I mean, like,
Machida too, yeah.
Yeah, he was a beast at that time, right? So you're talking about 3 guys who were totally amazing. And so I think even that 11 through 17 is kind of, if you just think about just that, that could be like the best of all time. But then I don't know. I feel like he is, I don't want to say tainting his legacy, but it's like, I don't know. I'm being intellectually honest now.
But that's to you, the sportsman. That's to you, the sportsman. That's not to you, the general fan. To you, the sportsman, Ben, not the general fan who literally only cares about wins and losses. Right now, the Kansas City Chiefs have not lost a football game, right? So people talk about that. They've played really bad. They haven't played great. So they may be better down the line, but right now they're undefeated, and that's all people talk about is how the Chiefs are undefeated. They don't think about all the other stuff. And I feel like if David Taylor got beat at the World Championships, he wasn't going to beat Sadulayev. He wasn't prepared to beat Sadulayev, but we believed that he could. And we ignored everything building, the training, the head coach, all that. You can't ignore the other stuff. And that's what happens. That's what happens in sports. And right now, Jon Jones is smart. And if he goes, I ain't got to fight this dude. If somebody else beats him, he can go back and go, well, you guys all act like Tom Aspinall was this great threat to me. And he got beat by so-and-so.
I mean, you know who else does that a lot? Dana. Dana will sign. I mean, he did this to me to a certain extent, but sign someone he doesn't really enjoy past their prime, right? And then say, oh, they were never that good anyways. I mean, that's a prime Dana.
Well, when Fedor started losing, he was like, this dude never was that good.
Yeah.
We all kind of do that a little bit in sports. But Ben, last thing before we move on from this topic.
Okay.
So John had this idea, and I saw it just yesterday on I think it was MMA Junkie, or this morning I got a thing from MMA Junkie Instagram. It said, John said, he said, how cool would it be if Alex Pereira and I fight for the BMF championship? Fighting him for the BMF belt would be really cool. We both have 2 belts in 2 weight classes. The night we fought, we'd both be fighting for our 3rd belt, which would be the BMF. How cool would that be to fight Alex Pereira for the BMF title? He said he'd vacate the heavyweight championship for this.
Of course he would. This makes me feel, God, it's going to make me feel like I'm doing a shit on John says shit. And, you know, I said, like, I mean, I don't agree with everything John's ever said or done, obviously, but I generally think he's a great fighter, possibly the greatest of all time. But this is shenanigans. Now, Alex could fight for the BMF because he fights all the time, right? This guy fights like once every 3 months. John has only fought 1 time in the last 5 years, maybe 2, 1. We fought Cyril, and then it's been.
No, he fought in 2020.
Oh, he fought twice in 5 years. Twice in 5 years.
No, yeah.
He fought February of 2020, and then he fought in Cyril Gane. So that is not a BMF thing, right? So the BMF, when it was put in, was like, unfortunately, it was these guys who loved to fight but weren't quite enough to win, good enough to win a real title. So that was why they made the BMF.
But now the BMF is fought by championship caliber fighters.
Correct, but neither of them held the belt at that time.
They didn't hold the belt at the time. So
Yeah.
Jon is suggesting that they give up 2 belts to fight each other for the BMF. Has the BMF now become more valuable than a world championship?
Well, it's just, I mean, I think Jon is just using it as a ploy to not fight Tom Aspinall, is how it seems to me. God, I hate that I have to say this, but you know, people are gonna be mad at me, but whatever. But yes, that's what it seems to me. It seems to me that that is the whole premise here. Just fight freaking Tom Aspinall. Let us know who the best is, and then yeah, whatever.
But you actually believe that he just does not want to fight this guy. Do you think the threat is that real? When you watch
That's the
Aspinall?
only thing that makes it make something else make sense to me.
I don't know how to make it. I don't know how to make it make
That's what
sense.
I'm saying. I can't make it make sense. I
I
mean,
don't know how to make it make sense.
if you're
To
fighting,
me,
you
why
should
is he
want to
doing? I
fight.
just don't understand why he's doing this.
I
I
don't
just,
understand.
to me, I'm like, it has to be him just trolling. It has to be him just trolling. I can't imagine. I can't
Yeah.
imagine. Uh,
Yeah,
he's not scared,
yeah,
man.
there's no other logic.
He's not scared because he's not. I hate when people go,
Well,
he's
no, no,
scared.
but so scared could be a few things, right?
Okay,
I
tell me.
brought this up. Scared could be fear of losing the zero because that's the thing that's most important to him.
Yep.
And even if in his, so if I'm putting myself in Jon Jones' mind, to him, you know, maybe Stipe, he's got a 20% chance of losing, and against Alex, he's got a 10% chance of losing. Even if he has, in his own mind, maybe a 30% chance of losing against Aspinall, that is
It's too high.
still a greater threat than the other things.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. God,
So
man, I'm going there this weekend. I can't wait. It's gonna be a great fight. I think when those guys hit that
you
curtain,
get to hang
man,
out with Trump.
he usually comes and says hi to me and talks to me every time.
What are you
He
guys talking
does.
about? Golf?
You
You
know,
beat
so
him
my
at golf
mom,
or
so
no?
my mom before she passed, God bless her soul, sweet Audrey. She,
Okay.
I always turn to one of those like black people whenever I talk about my mama. Yeah, I miss you. That was the like I'm in the church somewhere. Listen,
uh,
she hated Trump, dog. She hated Trump. And she was like just Democrat, bro,
yeah.
dude. When she saw him come up to me at a UFC event, what you doing with that? And she called him an
No,
N-word.
she didn't.
I swear to God.
What did she call Trump the N-word?
Yeah, what you doing with
Why?
that? I'm
Because
like,
he's a felon and he got shot
I
at?
have no idea why she called him that. That's well, because see, so like now black people will say that the N-word as a term of endearment. What's up, my mom and them
I
when they were
know.
said she was older, so when they said it, it was a very
Yeah.
derogatory
Yes.
thing. So she was calling him something very, very ugly when she saw him come up to me at the UFC event. It's funny, but
That is
hey,
funny.
he's always really cool. He told me I have a open invitation to play golf at any of his courses around
Who'd
the
you beat
country
him
anytime.
in golf?
I can't beat him. He's too good.
Really?
He's actually really, really good at golf. He's really good. Man. Seriously. He doesn't have the most beautiful swing, but it's really effective, and he hits the ball very far. So it is what it is. It's so crazy. As big as I am, I can't hit the ball far. So it's like
Oh
I know
man.
when to concede. Ben, speaking
Yeah.
of trolls, right? At
Okay.
times, people could say that the next president will troll people because he's so direct. You know who's a troll? Jake Paul, who is fighting Mike Tyson on Friday night.
Yes.
Bro, Mike Tyson is jacked. I don't care. I don't care that he's 58. I don't care. Do you believe they're really going to let Mike Tyson fight this kid? Like, fight him to hurt him?
I mean, it seems like it's happening.
Doesn't it feel like
But you
that?
know, I already gave you my take. I think Jake's gonna win.
But, bro, I thought the whole time this was some sort of exhibition. I thought it was like an exhibition.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like that anymore.
But
It
wait, I
feels like
gave you
they're
my
going to
logic.
fight.
I think they're gonna fight, and I think Jake's gonna win.
You think Jake's going to beat Mike Tyson?
Yes, I gave you my
It,
lot. I'm gonna give you my logic one more time because it has been a while. Roy Jones and Mike Tyson fought each other. Okay,
yes.
it was near a draw. It's very very competitive,
But that was
evenly
like that was really them play fighting.
a little bit, but you could tell they were even. You know, like if they ramped up the intensity, it probably still would have been even, right? Because well, it's not like one of them kicked the other one's butt. Because
Well,
if one
Roy
of them
knew
would have
some.
started,
So Roy was talking about this recently.
okay,
Roy was talking about this how he was worried. So he kept clinching Mike. These are
Yeah.
things that Roy Jones Jr., the world champion, fought his
Yeah.
whole life, Olympian,
Okay.
knows how to do. Jake Paul don't know how to get to a
Okay.
clinch.
But hold on. But then, if you remember correctly, Roy Jones lost a boxing fight shortly after that to Anthony Pettis. Now, Anthony Pettis is a highly skilled fighter, but at this point in time, he was past his prime, and he's just not a big guy. He's a
He's small.
155 pounder. He had fought at 145, right, for some of his career. And he beat Roy Jones in a boxing fight, in a legitimate boxing fight. It doesn't appear that anyone was claiming anything other than it was legitimate. Jake is a solid 200 pounder. Like, I don't know, maybe he'd make 185. I'm not sure, but it seems like he's even bigger than that. So we're talking two, three, four a lot of weight classes apart, and someone who's much younger. And, we talked about Anderson Silva. Now, listen, you may not get much credit for beating Ben Askren in a striking bout, but you should get a little bit of credit for beating Tyron Woodley and Anderson Silva.
Yeah, you should. You should.
Get a little
Those
bit,
guys can box.
Yeah.
Those guys can box. Tyron
Yes.
can box and Anderson can box.
Yes.
But they're both small, man. Mike Tyson's not small.
Well, but I brought up Anthony Pettis. Think about that. I brought up Anthony. He's way smaller than Tyron, and Tyron's smaller than Anderson.
Yeah, but I'm saying Mike Tyson is not small. He's going to be 200.
Let's make a bet on this.
I bet Mike will be how much?
What are you going to bet?
How much you want to bet? You tell me.
Listen, okay. If I win, you have to buy a Bitcoin, and then you're going to thank me for that long term, right?
Okay.
Because I'm going to do good by you. And if I win, you to buy Bitcoin. If you win, what do you want from me?
I
have to wear a Oklahoma State Cowboy shirt.
Okay, yeah, you have to do that. Okay.
You think about what you want from me, and I will bet.
Buy me a Bitcoin. You have to wear an Oklahoma State shirt for a month of shows.
A month?
A month of shows. Because a Bitcoin's not cheap. How much am I paying for a Bitcoin?
But it's going to make you money. It's like
it will down the line. But
yeah.
how much am I paying for a Bitcoin?
I care about you long term, and I want you.
I love that, and I love and I appreciate that. Okay. I'll buy a Bitcoin anyways. But still, that's the bet. Right. 1 month of shows, you wear an orange Oklahoma State wrestling T-shirt.
So you need to send it to me, because if
I will send it
we'll
to
have a show
you.
next week, and if Jake somehow wins, then or if Tyson beats him, then I'll wear it for the next show.
Okay. Hey, Jake also said that if he beats Mike Tyson, he's calling out Canelo Alvarez. That to me makes more sense, because he likes to fight smaller guys. But
Canelo still fight? I don't even know.
Canelo fights 175, and he's small at 175.
Okay.
He actually.
I was gonna say 175 is not that small, but yeah, if he's
not because Canelo's not a 75-pound. When he lost,
yeah,
he lost at 175 because he was maxing out like what he was trying to fight at.
Got it.
That's control.
Because didn't he fight a long time ago? Didn't he fight Floyd? And Floyd's really small, right?
At 154.
Dang. Okay.
Canelo fought at 154, and Jake said he's gonna fight him.
Well, so now Canelo is getting older, because that Canelo Floyd Mayweather, that was like when I was living in Phoenix or something. So that's like 15 years ago or something.
Yeah. But he's still making 30 mil a fight.
He is. So maybe Jake is trying to wait till Canelo gets older, because he knows it's not going to happen immediately, so maybe he's waiting until he gets older, and then, Canelo will be like 40 and Jake will be like 28 or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something.
I don't know. I mean, dude, I heard her. So I don't know that. I just don't know that, I think he's doing good work, right? He lost to Tyson Fury's brother.
Yep.
The only true boxer he's fought. Mike Tyson's a true boxer. I didn't believe that it was a real fight. Now, hey, bro, I did a breakdown for Netflix on this fight.
Oh, really?
Yes, it's like real. It's like a real fight. I did a breakdown on the fight. They sent me stuff to watch on the fight. I swear to God, Ben, I did not believe that they were going to let Mike Tyson truly fight this kid. They're letting Mike fight him, and Mike's going to try to hurt him. And if Mike's trying to hurt you, bro, and it looks like Mike is like on the stuff. He looks huge, like he's on the stuff.
Oh, Jake probably is too.
So let me ask you a question. How many years does that take off of Mike Tyson if he's like on the good stuff?
Probably makes it feel a little bit better. I'm not
45?
Sure.
Could take off 13 years.
Maybe. Potentially.
45-year-old Mike Tyson's beating Jake Paul every day of the week.
Well, when did Mike stop fighting? I just looked up. I
Mike has
just looked
not
up.
fought in competitive fights since like 2002.
Oh, that's a long time.
You're mad about Stipe. It was 4 years.
But this is like a fun thing. Like this is
No,
not
it's
the,
not fun. They're fighting.
well, it's kind of fun. It's kind of a sideshow. It's not like for the. It's not like we're not like fighting for the WCB
Bro,
BC belt or
I
something
hope they
here.
give a title for that. I want a belt. Could you imagine if I want a belt on the line, a beautiful belt to the person that wins? Bro,
A beautiful
how
belt. Some say the most beautiful belt.
would it be satisfying for you if Mike just like starches this dude, or do you hold anything bad towards Jake Paul at all?
No, I kind of let it go, and honestly, it kind of makes me look better the better he does. And I'm like, look, like I told you guys, he wasn't terrible. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
I never pretended to be a good boxer. I just was hoping he was gonna suck, and now he's actually like decent. He's fighting Mike Tyson, so um, yeah,
Yeah, he's not a bad boxer.
not
He's
bad.
actually much better than I thought. Boy, this is a
Hmm.
big fight weekend. Michael Chandler's back, fights against Charles Oliveira. Chandler said he's going to knock him out again. He said the first time he's going to knock him out, he almost did. Said he's
Yeah,
going to
almost
knock him
did.
out again. I talked to Mike yesterday, which was really good. I like Mike. I like Chandler, man. We're kind of hard on Chandler too much, and he takes no offense to it.
No, we weren't hard on him. We were fair.
Fair. At
We were
times with
fair
friends, you have to be hard, even while being fair.
because he never got the McGregor fight, so we weren't
Never got the
crazy. We
fight,
were
bro.
right.
Hey, I actually think if he loses this weekend, it puts him closer to the McGregor fight.
Ha, ha.
If he looks too good,
Oh
Connor's
my
be like,
gosh.
nah,
I mean,
that's
if he
okay.
wins, it gives him a perfect call out opportunity, obviously.
It gives him a call out opportunity, but if he
Yeah.
looks too good, the only reason McGregor was going to fight him because he looks like he might be a guy he can beat.
Yeah.
If he,
Yeah. Hmm.
yeah. So Luis said when we started this podcast, you knew that Chandler and McGregor weren't fighting. Though you're like Nostradamus.
I mean, that was well, I think in the beginning I just said I remember because this is how long ago it was. I said they're not going to fight in 2023, and we're almost to 2025 at this point,
Yeah, we're almost at
and
25.
you thought that was crazy. And then the longer it dragged on, the more evident it became to me that Conor McGregor does not want to fight anybody.
You're so funny.
Hilarious.
Ben, did you see my boy Cody Merrill last weekend won the Michigan State
He
Open?
did win the Michigan
Yeah, he
State
did
Open.
good, and I
Yeah,
was proud of him. I was
I
proud of
saw
him.
that.
Hey, dude, for the first time, I've got 4 kids starting in D1 right now. I've got
Okay, so
four
you have
D1 starters.
Cody,
I'm
you
not
got
like you.
Saldate. Who else you got? Cody.
Saldate, Jaden Gomez at Arkansas Little Rock,
Oh, nice.
Henry Porter at Indiana, and Victor
Oh, yeah.
Jacinto at Oregon State.
That's five?
4.
Oh no, Cody's not starting
Cody
yet.
doesn't
Cody's not
start.
starting yet.
No,
Got it. Got it. Got it.
Cody isn't going to be wrestling. But then, like in a couple years, we'll have the Cortez twins and Daniel
Oh
Zepeda,
baby.
Moses Mendoza, all those guys. So,
Oh yeah.
because you have what 20 Division I starters right now,
I would have to look. I think we had 18 last year.
18 D1
Yeah.
kids at NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
That's fucking.
No, no, no. We had 8 or 9 qualifiers, but it's that we're in starting lineups going into state conferences.
That's so wild. 18 kids. That's
Yes, sir.
nuts. All right, bro.
All right. Well,
Mike
it's fun.
Tyson
It's a
said
fun weekend.
Tyson side by side from his last fight. Okay, hey, he got a picture. Look at that picture.
So is
real
he
quick
saying he's bigger and stronger? He's on. He's
look
on.
at the picture before we go. Mike Tyson in the picture today, and Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr.
No, no, this is his last pro
Oh,
bout.
he 2005 is when he fought last. 2024, Mike Tyson today looks better, Ben. He looks better
Oh my
today
gosh.
than he did back then. Jake
He was
Paul might be in
probably on
trouble.
some extra medicine, but I bet it's legal. I bet they're not testing.
I'm about to get my pay. You gonna have that orange shirt on? You gonna look good in orange. Ben, have a great weekend, man. Guys,
Yeah.
for Ben Askren, I'm Daniel Cormier. It's another episode of Funky the Champ. Until next time, peace.